at a time when payments were a puzzle, with no one having what it took to piece it together, there arose a need for a game changer. One unlike any other that could pioneer e-payment solutions, enabling transactions between buyers and sellers, like making payments online or with just phone number, plus a game-changing, reliable multi-bank app platform. So, if you're still wondering how it all started, look no further. It starts here.
Unified Payments, unifying businesses for people.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
It's Open House Thursday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. Choma in the building. How you doing? It's been a while.
Oh yes, it has been indeed.
Thank you so much for coming in to say hello to us today.
Oh,
hope to be first of many.
My sister,
again.
You know the hustle. My people say, "I don't know if we be making
So
when you are watching the masquerade, show, you have to stay on this end, move to the other end, move around
the angle.
And so yes, I'm here today.
Love the hair as usual.
Thank you.
So what's been happening to you?
So today I'm excited, obviously, in the midst of my beautiful sisters. But beyond that, just basically excited about life and work and just jumping about and doing stuff. While also doing that, a bit, would I say, concerned as well.
Yeah.
Concerned about humanity, concerned about life, and the fact that with everything happening around us, it obviously seems like we are losing our humanity.
Yeah.
And so
really sad.
Really sad, yeah.
It is.
Hello, Abigail. How are you?
I'm fine.
Good to see you again.
Thank you. I want to say this is like one of the favorite seasons because I like that the place is usually very cool at night. You don't have to turn on your AC, so you have to save your energy. You don't have to cry as a band subscriber. Yeah, it's a very good time for people who are, weather for two. But then for logistics company, we know we have to suffer a lot for that.
Yeah.
But today is World Sickle Cell Day. A day to make people know that sometimes love is not enough. You have to be sure that that genotype you're having it's in alignment with the person, the partner you choose to spend your life with. Don't go and use love and spoil your child's life.
Is that still a debate? Because I thought people have gone to the part where there are things where you can, there are medication to, that's what I'm just saying.
Yes.
Or it has to,
it's only bone marrow transplant.
Nobody else
And
checks for
the percentage is, the risk factor is very high.
Yeah.
But you can manage it. People manage it. So we know one sickle motivator that has been creating awareness around, and she has been surviving it, but it's really painful.
Yeah,
you don't want to see them in their crisis period.
Yeah. Hello, Maka in the building! Amaka Fresh!
I don't understand.
Freshest of the freshest.
I don't understand.
Only fresh Amaka in Nigeria.
God.
There's no number two.
All these hailings, dash me money after. I don't take hailings by just mouth.
Amaka, how many countries have you not been to? In fact, I can't even say how many have you been. How many have
Back
you
to
in my 5 countries, only 5. You only called 5 countries to enter in this world.
back to by the conversation of sickle cell, because I have a personal experience with it. From my family, so my grandmom and my granddad were both ASAS.
Oh, wow.
Yes, so then we lost.
One of your uncles?
Yes, so not just one. So we lost a few. I lost a few uncles and aunties to sickle cell, and like I am AS, and I'm a carrier and a high carrier, so I can understand that. But the good thing now is that they now have checks and ways where when with science, when you're pregnant, you can check, and then you don't have to have the sickle cell child. Yes, yes. So now there are checks for that. But then I'm happy to be back. And for me, when she said that we've lost our humanity, we've lost empathy. We've lost. It's so funny how something will happen, and then people are more concerned about the material things, like, oh, maybe someone's car, maybe there's an accident, and so people are wondering, oh, did they hit your car? Did you lose your phone?
Clicks.
First, before even asking
who survived.
Who survived. And so it's really sad. And my heart goes out to, you know, people that lost their lives to the Benue killing, and with everything going on around the world, even with the Iranian and Israeli war. We're losing children, we're losing people, we're losing human beings. Something has to be done.
Maka, going back to what Chema said about humanity, because, I mean, we're talking about Benue. But why did he have to take Very Dark Man to go there? Before even the people in the surrounding communities come to see, this is what happened in our community. God forbid something happened down the street. Everybody should have come out to say, these are people, children have died, women have died. Everybody just moved on because that humanity is somewhat missing. A lot of people just, look, it has happened, they've burnt those people, we heard that they killed them.
Can I show
just
you?
moved
Just
on.
like numbers.
But this person came down, recorded that thing, the whole country stood
Can
still.
I shock you? This same Benue killing, the late Adame talked about it. She came crying. And Adame is late now, almost 2 years. So 2 years after, we're still talking about the same thing. And I'm sure 2 years after, if nothing is being done, we'll still continue talking about it.
I mean, I'm happy that the president was there yesterday. I mean, we'll probably talk about some of the comments, except from his son, but we're hoping, based on what he has said, that there'll be a lasting solution, because at the end of the day, it's land grabbing. And he has said that we need to convert that problem to an economic solution, that going by some of the things he did in Lagos. We'll see what that means, but let's go on a short break.
You look beautiful, by the way.
Oh, thank you. You know, I got my
earrings.
inspired earrings. You know, I'm already missing her jacket. You know, but it's done by Ramatu. Okay, let us go on a short break. When we come back, we'll look at the front pages of the paper. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. All right, so the nation. Benue killings, president goes hard on security chiefs. New tax system to take effect January. Zenith Bank to exit CBN regulatory forbearance by June 30th. Force over deduction from airtime to USSD transactions. And not sure which story we have inside. We caught IPOB members eating human flesh, says DSS. Okay, which story do you have?
I have this one that says the board of Bank of Industry to empower artisans for economic growth. The Bank of Industry has moved to empower artisans, technicians for future industrial development, describing them as the nation's backbone and future. The Managing Director, Bank of Industry, Dr. Lasukbo Oluse, disclosed this at the Nigerian Artisans Leadership Summit held this year, stating that the bank views Nigeria's over 12 million artisans as key drivers of grassroots enterprise and national transformation. The summit has at its theme unlocking the inherent potential of Nigerian artisans and technicians. As they say, most of these artisans they have a common challenge, which sometimes limited access to affordable finance, lack of research and development, outdated equipment, inadequate training, poor business structures, and minimal export participation. They said all these challenges require urgent interference and intervention. So they are looking to make sure they partner with them from 2025 to 2027.
Okay, so the president was in Benue yesterday, as many were expecting for him to be there, and he actually tasked the security chiefs. I will put them on the spot that why have no arrests been made so far. He put the Inspector General on the spot, and also the Chief of Army Staff. He was there in Yellowaza, where we have almost 200 people killed. Sadly, interestingly too, the Yellowater attack was the most recent in the space of killings, because between January to date, at least 500 people have died in Benue State. So this is not just one situation. He was speaking during the stakeholders meeting, and he was saying that accusing the Inspector General of Police, how come no one has been arrested? He said that he's going to support the reconciliatory moves to ensure, to help the governor, because he was asking the governor that, is it the first time you are seeing that people will not like you? People will not like you. It's not about liking or not liking. It's about you converting the problem you have into an economic opportunities for people. Also to see how you can work with the religious leaders within that community to find a solution, because the federal government can only help you so far. You are the one in-house. You don't want to direct their steps and say, this is the problem, this is the source. Land grabbing is a perennial problem, but it's only a solution that by a governor that can actually give something, give respite or peace to the people. Governor Alia also was there. He spoke, he listened to all the speakers before he spoke. That's Mr. President. He said, I wanted to come here to commission projects, not to be counting bodies, and not to see gloomy faces, but peace is vital for development. The value of human life is greater than that of a cow. You were elected to govern and not bury people. Governor Alia, you were elected under the progressive banner to ensure peace, stability, and progress. You are not here elected to bury people, and we're going to be here to support you. Everyone will take you in politics, will not like you in politics. So we're hoping that the president's visit would actually make some kind of changes, because he said that they will set up a committee to help also to look into that they'll be having their meetings in Abuja, and you help to monitor to ensure a lasting solution, because at the end of the day, that's what's going to the hallmark of leadership, is your ability to solve problems.
Why
so
is
he
he
has to
in
find
Abuja?
No, well, that's
Why is he not in Benue?
I don't know. You can ask Mr. President. I don't know. I don't know. That's part of the solution.
Yes. So a new tax regime anchored on the tax reform bills awaiting presidential assent will go into effect in January. There's a 6-month window, which is to allow the sensitization of Nigerians after the president has signed it. Has signed the harmonized version of the bills, marking a significant step in the government's ambitious drive to overhaul the tax system. A source also said that apart from sensitizing the public, the period between the presidential assent and end of the year will also be used as adequate preparation, in the implementation of the law. He also learned that the president has received, they said yesterday, the president received the clean copy of the passed bill following the transmission from the National Assembly. It's being scrutinized currently, and the bills are the Nigerian Tax Bill, the Nigerian Tax Administration Bill, the Nigeria Revenue Service Establishment Bill, and the Joint Revenue Board Establishment Bill. Yes, so he said that Mr. Ejun also said that the minister said that once signed into law, it is expected to significantly improve the efficiency and fairness of Nigeria's tax system, while nearly doubling the country's tax to GDP ratio, which remains amongst the lowest globally. So we hope that it's not just the normal, they'll pass a bill into law and then implementation becomes a problem.
Yeah.
The most important thing here is to sensitize Nigerians with all the conversations that's been going on why this bill is important and how it can help our economy.
Okay, so let's move on now to the Punch. INEC fires back at coalition over 2027 party registration delay. Tinubu assembles top brass ex-governors to end Benue killings. Let's see. Anambra teacher jailed 12 years for defiling 11-year-old male student. Another Nigerian arrested for drug trafficking in India after 1.8 billion naira bust. Ogun resident killed by suspected cultists. Panic has fired God's residential building in Anambra. Shema, do you have a story there?
Oh, yes. I have one on the inside.
Okay.
sort of like a human angle interest story.
Yeah.
Husband seeks divorce after 17 years for lack of love.
Are you serious? Interesting.
Okay, so a middle-aged man, Moshood Kolobo, on Wednesday appeared before an area court sitting in Center Igboro, Ilorin, seeking the dissolution of his 17-year-old Islamic marriage to his wife, Hafsat. And this was on the ground of lack of love and emotional connection. Now, he says, I am no longer interested in this marriage. There is no love between us anymore. And we have been together for 17 years. And of course, they have, I think, about 5 children. The petitioner said, despite the duration of the union and their 5 children, he felt mentally and emotionally detached from the relationship and was convinced that a divorce was the best option for both parties to find peace. 17 years, 5 children. Responding to the claims, the wife, Hafsat, says that apparently she was visibly shaking and emotional. And she informed the court that she had no prior knowledge of her husband's decision. Yeah, she just got to court and was told that day during the sitting.
This is the kind of story Nima likes.
As in,
Nima would have been shaking with this kind of story. Oh my Lord!
I was just watching something yesterday night
Please,
just
you need
about
to
this.
screen grab that and send to me because I need to digest it. We need to see how we can unpack it. Let's go on a very short break. When we come back, we'll continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past 3 years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company, not just in Nigeria, but throughout continental Africa, to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing the punch. I had the story.
Okay.
EFCC, they said that they've assured Nigerians that they will never again allow looted assets by corrupt individuals to be re-looted. So they are admitting that people are re-looting. This was even as he said, good governance is a possibility in Nigeria. Chairman of the commission, Mr. Ola Olukoyede, gave the assurance in Kaduna State on Wednesday when he paid a visit to the main campus of the newly established Federal University of Applied Sciences, Kacha. He was speaking there, and he was, according to him, he said, this is a testimony that good governance, when he was speaking at the event, said that this is a testimony that good governance is a possibility in Nigeria. and to ensure delivery of good governance and provided leadership directly, indirectly, and to the people. Never in the history of this country are we going to allow recovered assets to be relooted again. So this is a testimony of accountability, it's a testimony of transparency, and a testimony of judicious use of recovered assets. Nigerians deserve to enjoy the proceeds of accountability, and that is why we decided to give this back to the people. After recovery, we feel the people of the immediate community must be the first beneficiaries. So they were also benefiting from part of the looted funds given to the university. So he was just trying to restate the fact that going forward, none of those funds will be relooted again. Okay, we hope so.
Nice.
Okay.
So I have the Independent National Electoral Commission has told the coalition of political groups seeking to register a new political party ahead of the 2027 general elections that no amount of public pressure or blackmail would override the need for strict compliance with constitutional and regulatory compliance. The electoral body questioned the coalition's compliance with key legal and procedural requirements, warning that party registration was not merely a political declaration, but a constitutional process governed by strict guidelines. INEC also denied reports circulating online claiming the registration of two new political parties, which is the Independent Democrats and the People's Democratic Movement. Also, several oppositions accusing INEC of accusing the electoral body, which is INEC, of refusing to register new political parties, and this has raised concerns about the inclusiveness of the electoral process. And also, the former Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, has also accused INEC chairman of blocking registration of new political parties, and he really applauded the former INEC chairman Jega over this particular.
Okay, so the Anambra teacher jailed 12 years for defiling 11-year-old male student. When I was going through the story, I thought maybe a woman to a boy, but it's actually a male teacher a boy child. Jesus. A sexual and gender-based violence court sitting in Oka, Anambra State, presided over by Justice P. Soti, has sentenced a 34-year-old school teacher to 12 years imprisonment for defiling his 11-year-old JSS1 student. Okay. The defendant, Pascal Ofomata, was charged with rape and inflicting physical harm, punishable under Section 3, subsection 1, Section 4, subsection 1, respectively. As a matter of fact, when I was going through the story, it was funny to me because when in his defense, he was saying he did not have any penetration. He only just sucked his penis.
God. He has the guts to speak.
But I'm happy that he has to spend 12 years of his life.
That's a short time.
That's too short. It's too short. He traumatized that boy for the rest of his life.
For life. Really, really sad. You know, I've been talking. Sometimes we need the draconian law in this country. I've been saying it, but nobody listens to me.
Castration, Abi.
I don't think something very, very Nigerian Tribune. Let's move on because I've been in trouble recently. Tinubu to Service Chief and IGP, we fished out Benue criminals. Zenith Bank reassures shareholders, investors of continued dividend payment. Story inside, we have Governor Mba, Enugu among fastest states in Nigeria. We will never allow relooting to recovered funds. We took that already. Bashanjo Shoyinka, others, re-echo impact of Olunloyo on traditional institutions and social political growth. Which story do you have, Chema, in Tribune?
Okay, so it's not a story per se, but more of an article around the need for us to not overlook mental health issues in Nigeria. You know, we're in a society where mental health is not is not seen to be serious. You know, the wound on the inside cannot be compared to the wound on the outside. So you have more empathy when you have like a wound on the outside rather than what's going on the inside. And so there's this article on ignorance around mental health challenges is expensive, and it states categorically that the biggest barriers to accessing mental health care remains ignorance about what is happening and how to get help. Now, it's closely followed by shame, stigma, and also supernatural beliefs. And all of this affects our society today. And we must remember and realize that the society is the people, not the landmass, not the state. It's the people. And so it's important for us even as we celebrate the men, celebrate the fathers, celebrate women, celebrate children, whatever celebration we have to mark humanity, we must remember that our mental health is very important. Yes.
So I have a story here. Barely a week after a Nigerian stylist, Ifeoluwa Akinwumi, was caught in India with drugs worth over 1.8 billion naira. Another Nigerian national identified as Chukuma has also been arrested for a similar offense. According to reports in India today, the suspect was apprehended by operatives at the Bengaluru's Central Crime Branch during a raid with narcotics valued at approximately 214 million naira. The accused was caught by the police during an attempt to distribute narcotics within the area of the northern Bengaluru, and the report disclosed that the arrest was part of a broader operation by the CCB's narcotics wing, which resulted in the seizure of MDMAs and crystal substances. Really
very sad.
But when I hear such stories, I'm always curious to know, did they really do a research to be sure that they are actually Nigerians? Because we have a lot of people from different countries going around, going out. Because when I went to India, there was a lot of that case going on and cultism. But I found out from a non-Nigerian that he actually bears a Nigerian passport. But he's not Nigerian.
Oh, that's true. Even these guys from Cotonou, I met one working here. He said he answers Yoruba name Lanre.
So as long as they are black,
to integrate.
It's assumed
so in immigration.
All right, so this one is Lassa fever death rate rises as cases spread. NCDC, the Nigerian Center for Disease Control and Prevention, has reported a rise in the fatality rate of Lassa fever as the disease continues to spread across states with new confirmed cases and more deaths. As it is, the NCDC disclosed this in its latest situation report, and it's like the week 23 of it. And according to them, they said the agency, Nigeria has recorded 143 deaths and 758 confirmed Lassa fever cases so far this year. As they say, 18 states in 2025, 18 states have recorded at least one confirmed case of Lassa fever, 96 local government areas. That's what, and I can't take all the figure right now because of time, but people should just know that it's closer to home than you can imagine. So just be careful.
Okay, so the managing director, Nigeria Social Insurance Trust Fund, Mr. Fale, has urged all employers of labor to enroll into the Employees Compensation Scheme. It's called the ECS, and fulfill the obligations so that more families can benefit from its essential safety nets. That's if there's an injury, there's a death, your dependents won't just be left hanging. Yes, he made the appeal on Wednesday when the fund presented a check of over 18 million naira as death benefits to the family of an employee who died in the course of official duty. The NSITF boss said the check presentation highlighted the importance of the employer's role in contributing towards protecting their employees and the dependents, as well as the success of the ECS. He says that they should, all stakeholders involved who are employers of labor should get involved, because people can't just work all their lives and then be left hanging if something actually happens. So there should be a safety net. When you're putting in your time and effort into a project, into a company, there should be a safety net for you and your family. I think that makes sense.
Our final paper this morning, The Guardian, reactions to Tinubu's Benue visit, land grab remark rising IDPs. Gowon denies prior knowledge of the July 1966 counter coup. River Park Estate, court restrains IGP, EFCC from alleged rights violation. World Sickle Cell Day carriers, stakeholders bemoan high cost of health and healthcare insurance commission. Okay, any story in Guardian? Nobody?
Yes, there's a story. So the Federal High Court in Abuja has restrained the Inspector General of Police, the Commissioner of Police of the FCT, and the head of the IGP monitoring unit at the Force headquarters and others from alleged continuous violation and obstruction in connection with the River Park Estate disputes. Justice Obiore Gwatu, in a ruling on an ex parte motion yesterday, ordered the parties before him not to take any more action that will foist a fait accompli on the court in the matter. The judge also fixed June 26th for the commencement of the hearing on the land disputes. Yeah, I used to have a property in Rivers Park, so I know that this has been an issue before.
For a
now.
while.
Yeah, for a while, yeah.
Okay, that's all we can take on the front page review. We go on a short break now. When we come back, we continue with the show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regulars.
So let me go and look for my jam results.
By 20 or 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
Okay, that's all we can take.
I choose to
Ejeki, close the show. Give for that long.
Ladies and gentlemen, number 1 unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for number 1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back? You should start the gym though, you're getting fat. Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference? There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying. So pole dancer,
you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
No, it's the empowerment for me.
Sex can make your relationship better.
No.
Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too. Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the better? You scissors. What is his name?
That woman.
Damn!
Yeah, today we'll go here.
Hey!
Let's get talk now.
I'm sure we've been able to satisfy your cravings, yeah? Stay tuned. TVC Entertainment for Pure Entertainment.
Now you can catch up with your favorite programs on TVC. Log on to www.youtube.com/TVC Entertainment. Join the fun.
Hello, TVC Communications. How can I help?
What makes TVC the right choice for my business?
Excellent question, sir. Let me share some exciting facts with you.
Start your day on TVC.
Thanks for staying with us. So please welcome with us this extraordinary woman, Miss Iris Mwanza, a trailblazing international lawyer, passionate gender equality advocate, and award-winning author with a remarkable background that spans courtrooms, boardrooms, and now the literary stage. Iris has spent her life fighting injustice and empowering others. Her critically acclaimed book, The Lion's Den, has taken the world by storm, earning spots on the Time magazine's 100 most read books of 2024 and Crime Read's best debut crime novel of 2024, among other prestigious recognitions. Currently on sabbatical to write her second book, Iris continues to inspire through her writing and leadership roles on boards of World Wildlife Fund, US and She Tank. We're honored to have her in our midst today. Welcome with us, Iris Mwanza, in the building.
Welcome.
Good to have you.
Thank you.
You're originally from Zambia.
Yes,
but you live in the United States.
I live in the States now, but my heart is in Zambia for
Oh,
sure.
fantastic. Interestingly, I was in China recently and I met somebody from Zambia.
Oh, really?
And he was such a good, wonderful young man. And he was, he was raised by a single mother, and he was so endeared to a family there. So we kind of just adopted him as our son.
Oh,
he was the son for the whole group. But it's good to have you. I know you're in Nigeria. One of the objectives really is to promote your book. But before we get to your book, let's talk about yourself. What do you do? And tell us a bit about the work you've done so far.
Well, it's a long story, but I'll try and keep it short.
Okay.
I started my career as a lawyer in Zambia. So I was born and raised in Zambia, but I went to university in the US. Studied law, so I was a lawyer in Zambia, then I was a lawyer in the US, but I really felt that I wanted to do more. So went back to school, you know, us Africans love school. So ended up staying for a very long time, getting a PhD, and entered the world of international development. So I did a stint at the World Bank. I've done a stint at the Gates Foundation, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. But all that time, I also was very interested in doing something creative. I think we all have a creative gene in us, and it just is bursting to come out. And so I was like, oh, I want to write a book. So while I was working, I was writing The Lion's Den, this book. And it took 9 years from beginning to end. This is what happens when you do it part-time, you know, late at night, weekends, your family is doing things, they're like, where is she, where is she? Can somebody come and yank her out of that?
Go ahead, Amaka.
Yeah. So can you tell us about the book and what inspired you? Because for you to write something or focus on the project for 9 years, then there's something, there's a driving force behind that project. So can you tell us about the book and what inspired you to, you know, stay resolute for 9 years to write this book?
Sure. All the work that I've done, I think at the heart of it has been gender advocacy and really thinking about what is the role of women, how does gender define us, how does it restrict us, and I'll share with you a story with my own family, my father's generation. My father has a PhD from Cornell University in the US. His brothers all have advanced degrees. His sisters were not educated. So my aunts all remained subsistence farmers in Nyampande village, which is actually part of the setting in this book. The protagonist, Grace, is a village girl who struggles really hard to get to law school. And then she becomes a gender advocate as well, fighting the good fight for her client. And so she meets her client, Bessie. His full name is Wilbes Mulenga. She meets him in prison. He has been imprisoned for crimes against the order of nature, which is the Zambian Penal Code that criminalizes same-sex relations. And then Bessie disappears. And that's the beginning of this legal thriller, her trying to figure out what happened, her understanding the legal system, her navigating through society, and her navigating her own experiences with discrimination. You can imagine she's young, she's very naive, she's from the rural area in Zambia. Sometimes if you're from the rural area, you've got the markings on your face. So people can identify her. She's just starting out, so her clothes are a little bit, you know, shabby. She buys her suit from a second-hand clothing market. So she really has her own struggles, and through the arc of the story, she's battling her own struggles, but also battling and going to the ends of the earth for her clients. So you have this duality. She's fighting for her client, but she's also fighting for herself.
All right, so you're an American-based Zambian,
Yes.
and I'm sure that you've heard or experienced one or two misconceptions about black women.
Oh, yes.
One
or two.
Experience, and how are you able to correct such misconceptions about black women?
I think it's a really interesting education when you move to the States, because I think growing up in Zambia, you don't deal with the race issue, right? Everybody is black, but there are other things. So for Grace, her issue is being young, being inexperienced, also being the discrimination against being what they call a villager. For myself, as a young lawyer, I had a lot of the experiences, not so much the class issue, but the discrimination based on my gender and how you're treated as even though you're a lawyer, right? You're told, oh, by the way, can you go and get the coffee? You're like, but I'm here as a lawyer, you know. Why should I get the coffee? So you have to have that conversation.
Yeah.
Do I resist and have a big fight and distract and, you know, the clients are there, or do I just go and do it? So you have that, even the test of your abilities.
Yeah.
People underestimate you, which sometimes can be a good thing. You can use it to your advantage. But oftentimes it's really a challenge because they don't think you're up to it. They don't think you can do the job, no matter how many degrees you have, no matter how much you present yourself in a particular professional way, you're still second guessed. So, you know, in the US, it's really been an education around discrimination and the way discrimination works. And it's not kind of in the movies where people are burning crosses and, you know, or calling you names. It's subtle and it's systematic. And it's very, very difficult to rise in the workplace. They'll give you every excuse under the sun. And they'll tell you, oh, no, you're not meeting the mark, you're not quite there yet, or you're not the perfect fit.
You know the real reason.
And that's the code. And my husband's African American, so he's, especially in the initial years, he was like, oh my God, Iris, you're so naive, you know. It is not you. They will tell you it's you, but actually
I have a question in mind, but let me let Choma jump in here.
So in line with what you're saying right now, I'd like to find out from you, how far do you think that the fight for gender equality has gone? And have we achieved what we set out to, or what else is left to be done?
I think there's a lot left to be done, and you know, it's a real interesting conversation, because if you had asked me maybe even 10 years ago, I would say we are on the road, everything is going well, I mean, progress is moving forward, right? Now we see, you know, in the US, women's rights, the Roe v. Wade has been rolled back. I mean, things we thought were written in stone, and you realize, wow, nothing is written in stone. We have to keep fighting. And so it's, you know, 2 steps forward, 10 steps back. It's a hard question to say, where are we in this moment? But I feel like we're in a moment of awakening. And we really understand, again, I mean, history keeps teaching us.
I mean, interesting you mentioned that Roe versus Wade is a major conversation, and it's so sad that it was reversed. But let's come back to the book. Because I know that you wanted to, you know, promote it in Africa. Tell us, what's the plan to promoting this book? What kind of book is it, first of all? What kind of, is it a thriller? Is it a romance? Is it what exactly? And then tell us what you hope to achieve in having to become a continent's bestseller. It's a legal thriller, and so it is set in Zambia. And I think it's really important for us to tell our own stories. Unfortunately, it's actually really difficult to get published on the continent. It's easier to get published outside and then try to figure out how do you sell your book on the continent. And that's a conversation that you have to have with the publishing house. And I think there's a lot of work to do to convince the publishing houses that there is a market here. We know that I know we are all readers here. I know my friends are readers. I know when we were growing up, we couldn't afford books, but we would borrow them, lend them, you know. So it's really, I know there's a market. I think the issue is, how do we bring the price point to a place that is affordable? And I know, like, Chimamanda has done some great things by having her own publishing, but not that many people at Chimamanda who can just build their own publishing house and negotiate for the same rights that the book can be published in the US. So I'm in the process of trying to figure out what that is, but I think
my goal is twofold. I want to tell this story here. This is an African story. But I also want to show external publishing houses. So I've got two. One in the UK is Canongate, and one in the US is HarperCollins, an imprint called Graydon House. And I want to show them that there is a market here, and we need to do more to invest in getting the books out here. It shouldn't be such a struggle, and it's been a little bit of a struggle to do that convincing, but I think the fact that I'm here, and I'm so delighted and happy to be
Hopefully
here.
you can work at the publishing house within the country you're looking for?
I would love to do that. I would really love to do that. But you know, once you sign the dotted line, you sign away the rights to your book. And so actually you don't own it anymore. But publishing houses can work with other publishing houses, so Canongate could sell the rights again.
Well, wishing you the best. I mean, it was lovely to have you. But let me go on a very short break. We'll come back. We'll talk more about other things. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past few years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company, not just in Nigeria, but throughout continental Africa, to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regulars.
So let me go and look for my jam.
My 280 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
That's all we can take. Ejeki, close the show. You for that long.
Ladies and gentlemen, number 1 unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for number 1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Remarriage, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
Thanks for staying with us. Before we wrap up with Iris, there are a few questions that Abigail wanted to ask. Go ahead,
just
please.
a final question. You said you're a lawyer, and
Yes.
from the review, a bit of review I read from your book, is talking about a lawyer and another person that's trying to do first case or that. Is this a true life story?
It is not. It is all fiction. But I try to draw on my experience as a lawyer.
Okay.
And for the main character, Grace, she went to the University of Zambia, which is where I graduated from. And her home village is my father's home village, which is Nyampande, in the eastern part of Zambia. So I've tried to bring some authenticity, but it is a work of fiction.
I could sense a bit of you in the book.
Yes.
How many minutes have you received?
I just saw the review.
Yeah,
that's I'm a literature
Shall we have a question?
No, I just like the infusion of your legal life and your wildlife aspect as well. Yes, because I see that in there, and that whole mix, and just the fight for femininity as well. In the book, it's beautiful.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I wanted to ask you, so far, because of the laws of the land, has there been a pushback to you promoting your book on the continent?
In Africa or in the US?
In Africa.
In Africa.
I think it depends where you are. Like South Africa is very progressive, and I think it's been very, very well supported in South Africa. Zambia is still a work in progress.
I can imagine.
And I think we'll see. I just landed last night in Nigeria.
So wishing you the best. Iris.
Thank you so
I mean, anytime
much.
you need us to support, let us know. But we're wishing you the best here in Nigeria. And we're sure we can get it on Amazon or one of those.
Yes, it's available on Amazon. There's even an audio version. And it will be available at Roving Heights next week.
Oh, fantastic.
Congratulations.
Thank you, everybody.
Well, let's go on a very short break. When we come back, we have a very hot gist for today's Thursday. Very sizzling gist. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
In tourism, let us commit again.
Desserts and a bit of nightcap. We have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, but do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back? You should start the gym, though, you're getting fat. Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference? There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying. So pole dancer,
you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
No, the empowerment for me.
Sex can make a relationship better.
No. Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too.
Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the better? You see some spoils there.
That woman.
Damn! Yeah,
Today we'll go here.
Hey.
Let's catch up.
And so we've been able to satisfy your cravings, yeah? Stay good. Entertainment for pure entertainment.
Now you can catch up with your favorite programs on TVC. Log on to www.youtube.com/TVC Entertainment. Join the fun.
Hello, TVC Communications. How can I help?
What makes TVC the right choice for my business?
Excellent question, sir. Let me share some exciting facts with you.
Start your day on TVC Entertainment with Wake Up Nigeria, a family and lifestyle show. Your View empowers women globally.
It's your view, let it count.
Entertainment Splash delivers the hottest celebrity trends. On TVC News, we keep you informed with breaking news and in-depth analysis of events shaping the world.
I will continue to speak the truth.
TVC News at 7 and TVC News at 10 p.m. delivers the most important stories of the day. Max FM, your hit music radio station, captivates listeners daily across Lagos and Abuja, making every commute more enjoyable. Adaba 88.9 FM is not left out, as it is the voice of Southwest. And on TVC Digital, we reach to million viewers daily. All together, pulls in over 17 million viewers daily. Contact us on 0707 272 8338 or marketing at tvccommunications.tv. Partner with TVC Communications today. Let's grow together.
Imagine a country with over 300 plenty languages. Why you go the only focus on Yoruba, Hausa and Igbo? Where we get a common language where they unite everybody from Oga to even Madam self and every person where they for street. That's why we introduce you 89.9 Yanga FM, the #1 urban pidgin radio station where they unite us all. From the award-winning breakfast show, Waiting Day, with your brother, your friend, Wale Po.
Everywhere. So, Bobo.
This is not Cruise Express.
And this go be the best 4 hours of our life. Country people, make una join us.
Oh.
Now we be what's up Naija crew. Now we they give you wetin dey sup for inside we country.
Yes, so
keep it loud.
If God be your papa, why you not gonna make Yanga?
Thanks for staying with us. So, allegedly, late Chief Emmanuel Nwaya's will sparked controversy online as details allegedly of his will include a clause that barred his wife, Frances Chinonyerem Inwerem, from remarrying if she wishes to keep her inheritance. This condition was revealed in the will, which was made public. According to the document, she will forfeit all her properties, including the legacy house in Owerri, the Magil furniture and real estate stakes, if she decides to remarry. While this report has not been debunked yet by the family, it's not a scenario that's alien to us in Africa. So the conversation is on the issue, not on the persons.
Right.
What will make a man keenly interested in whether his wife is remarries or not after his own demise? Should a husband's will control a widow's life after his death? Do you think a spouse's inheritance should be affected if they choose to remarry? That's our conversation issue. So let's remove the person or the persons involved, because we're focusing on the African issue here. You can call us on 020-1635-2013-090-241-63440. You can also send us messages on X and also on YouTube. We'll be happy to read your thoughts. So, when a man dies and he's about to die, or he doesn't even know he's dying, he writes a will. Not just as me, he writes a will and says that my 38-year-old wife, young woman, not even, they have never crossed 40.
Young and fine.
Young and beautiful woman, said that if I die, you cannot remarry. If you remarry, you lose all the wealth that you have today. How do you interpret this in your own mind? Who'd like to go first, Gemma?
Okay, so I'd like to point out a few facts.
Okay.
10, 12 years before that, this person, taking out the person anyway, but this person in this particular scenario also lost a spouse. 2 years after, you get married.
That's the woman.
The man. The man.
Yes.
He had a first wife. Then 10 years down the line, another person is put in that same position you were in. But you give the person a clause to say, after I am gone, you cannot remarry. If you do, you lose everything. Now that's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it is, the clause is, do not remarry.
Doesn't mean you can have a boyfriend.
Doesn't mean you can have a lover. Doesn't mean you can have a partner. It didn't state you can't have other children. So that clause, for me, looking at it critically, begins to make me think or wonder. From the perspective of the man, it could be a thing about just wanting to protect his legacy,
security,
protect his, would I say, bloodline? Because in the situation where the woman gets married at the end of the day, it gives whoever she is married to, her spouse, legal rights, legal access to his properties.
Okay, that's an angle.
Okay. I'd like to know what happens after she dies. What happens to the property? I wish there's a clause or there's something else that will happen to the property, because I feel that so many people in life just are very materialistic. You're dead, you're dead. Whatever you've left, you just hope to have people that can preserve your legacy. You can't. How long will you do it? At most, maybe the next 30, 40 years, it's gone. You know, so how much longer can you hold on to this stuff? So, but let me go from the other angle. He had a wife that built the legacy with him. He would likely, maybe he's respecting the memory and the legacy of the wife who built this with him. And you can tell, maybe he has seen some questionable characters that he has said, okay, I don't think this woman will cherish what I have. I don't think, we've seen so many people after they die, their houses, their kids abandon the houses and travel abroad, and at the end of the day, everything just dies off. One thing I want to mention is there are women who marry these rich men because of their money. So I also feel that it's a way of letting those women who go in just for the money to know that nothing for you, because people can be as bad as, okay, just wanting to make sure they unalive their partner just to get access to the wealth. It's just alleging. But we know there are people that love money that much. So looking at it from that angle, you will not really blame him, especially if she has ulterior motive. But maybe I'm thinking that clause will have a timeline. Maybe after 50 years, maybe the lawyer will have it somewhere. After 40 years, 50 years, okay, you can now release it to so person, or if you don't get married to a certain age.
Maybe they're giving it to other people. But I'll come back to you, Abigail. Let me come to you, Amaka. What are your thoughts when you heard this thing?
Okay, so my thoughts is because something I can relate with, right? First of all, I beg to differ when we talk about, like, it's just property, 30 years, 40 years. All over the world, monarchies in Rome, everywhere in the world, legacies have been preserved like this for generations, hundreds of years. And I come from and this is personal to me because I come from a family where my great-grandfather was a king, my great-grandmother was so wealthy, she married other women to bear her name. And the will in my family is that properties don't pass to the wives. It stays in the family for generations. So I come from this kind of family where if you're married into the family, you don't get the property. It has to pass from generation. It has to pass within the children.
Only the sons.
No, the daughters. The daughters, the sons. Women are powerful from where I come from. So it passes, family legacy continues. And I don't think there's anything wrong in that. So it's not personal to him doubting his wife. And I'm happy you know that he had a wife before. They also built that. So it has nothing to do. He has made sure that the wives are always provided for till the day they die. They are well taken care of. And like Choma said, you can have a living lover, you can have a partner, you can do whatever. But you can't remarry and take that property outside of that family to your husband's place. Because if someone has bequeathed something to you, that there's a legacy line to that property, and you get married to somebody else, within the law, like as in if it's a court marriage, a civil marriage, the property he has access to it. And then the children, which is first generation, has lost something, has lost the legacy and an inheritance that can take care of them and their children.
So it's not about selfishness, because in my own view, my own response is that this is a selfish man. Why would he deny a woman he said he loves the riches that they built together? But now you're explaining that in some families it is a generational wealth to be passed on. I guess that wasn't clear there. But now in the modern times where we're saying modern marriages, once I have married you, we share, it's 50-50. Should those generational laws still stand in 2025? It's a question, because it's important for us to look at it, because you are okay with it, but your child might not be okay with it. Your niece might not be okay with it, because they were evolving. They're no more living in this side of town. Many of them are maybe living in different countries, and I'm wondering, I don't want that wealth. No, it's mine now. We're going to share it. I'm going to hand it over. So my question is does it still serve us to retain those kinds of laws, if indeed it exists, as Amaka has alluded to?
If I may state, I do not think he's a selfish person, because what he bequeathed to her was really a lot.
Yes, a lot.
it's a lot. So that's a man who values her.
Yes.
Else he probably would have left her in the care of the family to say, give to her whatever you think, and which will be monetary, say every month, or do you get what I mean? If we're looking at these laws and saying, are they relevant to us in modern times? I would now begin to ask, where's the place of prenups?
Exactly.
There weren't prenups back in the days, but now we have prenups. They are just, it's the same law, but we find name. Same old. Do you get what I mean? So it's not really about culture or us as a people. I think it's an individual thing as well. It's an individual thing. It's an individual fear as well. It's also feeds off experiences, whether personal experiences or experiences we have seen other people live through. So it puts people in positions where there are trust issues. And those trust issues can lead people to now take decisions like, how am I sure you're coming into this for me and not for the money? And so to prove that you're in this for me, we're putting it on paper.
So my question now again, Chema, is when we make it look as if marriage should be about love, for me, this is just transaction. And I think as much as we like to watch all these romance movies and I feel like, oh, I fell in love. Going back to what it really is, it's transactional.
Most of the time.
Why is it now time for us now in 2025 to face the reality? That this is what we're looking for marriage. I want to meet somebody tall, dark, and handsome. It's not about that. It's about what can you bring to the table. Because according to what I'm seeing here, this woman married at the age of 26. She's 38. She's a young woman. A 38 woman who should be able to remarry or even have a lover. Now, the thing is that if we say it's okay to have a lover, morally it is wrong in our side. So which side are we standing on?
So,
because I'm getting confused. 1 second I say, oh, she stayed married. And that man said, well, he didn't say she shouldn't have a lover now. But she's not supposed to have a lover. So what are we allowing?
So I'm going to talk from, I have 2 points on this issue, what you just said. So the first one is, I can't overemphasize the fact that people don't talk about a lot of certain conversations, financial conversations before this marriage. And I keep saying, and people think that, oh, Amaka, I love money so much and I want to be secured in the love, right? And you should think the same way too. If I'm marrying a wealthy man that has created wealth before I met him, we have to have a sit down and have a conversation. You should not be scared or feel embarrassed or, I don't know, about having certain conversations that matter to yourself, your children, and your future. What's going on? How will I be taken care of? You had children before I came into the picture. Okay, are you buying certain properties in my name that are my own?
Just because you're married, just start buying property in your name.
But people do it.
Yes. Marry you.
No, Mariah, people do that because if someone loves you and then he knows that he wants to keep certain things within his family, he settles you. A lot of people do that.
It's not love.
No, Mariah, it's not because they need to protect it. Every day we talk about generational wealth, and that's why the Jews are the strongest financial. This is where they are today because they keep it within the Jewish community, and they've built generational wealth, and that's what everybody should aim to achieve: generational wealth. And I think there should be a school that teach people now how to create generational wealth, how to keep it, and how to maintain legacies and certain things, and which I think we are lacking because if you check historically in African culture, where we had the kings, the queens, where we had certain things, I think we are losing our culture too as Africans.
Okay, so I actually align with you in that aspect. Chinua Achebe says, do not forget where the rain starts to beat you. So you see that most of our culture, we are battling with passing our culture and tradition to the next generation because most of our cultures have been lost in transit. I thought my millennial child thinks it's archaic, it's barbaric, and she jettisons it or he throws it away and decides to teach him how to play Nintendo and the rest of them. He doesn't know how to play Sway and all those games, you know. It's already getting lost. And I think many people want many things. Different people want different things. What I would want in life might be different from what you want in life. My legacy might just be, okay, let me create it for myself. People get immortalized after they die. And till they die, someone like Dangote, I don't think you'll forget him in a hurry. You know, he doesn't have to say, do not marry for this property and all that. But I actually feel that one way he's trying to preserve and protect her is to maybe save her from, you know, those vultures that will want to, oh, the wife of late this person, there will be money. It's on this table, okay, maybe on the Pigeon Show when we talked about a lady who had inheritance from her late husband. One man comes complaining, I told her my business is dwindling. I brought her from the house, the mansion she's staying in, to stay in my 2-bedroom. I've been feeding her family. I've told her to sell one of the property and give me to do my business. Those kind of self-entitled men that we know are everywhere this time. Exactly. You know, they are praised. I feel it's a way to protect her, because if that clause is existing and a man is coming in, he knows that there's nothing for you, no shishi for you, so you can't come back and take this. But I am saying... Okay,
I want you guys to understand me.
Okay.
I'm in agreement with everything you said, but I just don't want us to be hypocritical. A young woman is in love. She wants to get married. We encourage her to find the bone of her bone, the person that you guys can have. Find your friend. Find, you know, we keep telling these young people these things. But the girl is telling herself that, I don't want to find all those things. I want a 70-year-old rich man that can take care of me. That's all I want. We discourage her. The society discourages her. But she's like, because I want to be pampered. I cannot come and kill myself. So this 70-year-old man would marry me. Now, according to what Amaka is saying, that, okay, even if you marry a 70-year-old man, what are the terms of engagement? Now, you give me this, you give me that. When you die, this is what I get. My question, therefore, is, are we encouraging this type of marriage? Because we've always discouraged young people to just go for money. But I'm not saying that's what this woman went for, but is this an acceptable option for a young woman saying, no, I just want to, I don't care about love, I don't care about connection, I don't care about conversation, I just want somebody that can care for me, period. And is that something that society is saying we need to start looking into? Because if we are saying this woman's situation and say that it's okay, that man loved her enough to at least allow her to stay in the marriage until whenever she's ready to go. As long as she doesn't leave that marriage, she can stay with his wealth. So we are recognizing it as love. If you're recognizing that as love, would you also recognize that for somebody, a young person who just wants to enter that kind of marriage and say, okay, auntie, when you get to 30 years, there's a possibility this man might die and you not get anything if you leave the marriage. Are we okay with that? That's really what I'm saying.
The truth is, from Nigerian adult age is 18. So at 18, whatever life decision you take, I think you're solely responsible. Nobody tells you society what to do. That's why they say do not allow, so because society will crumble you. Society is there to guide you, but society is not there to rule you. Because first of all, what's your happiness? Where do you find your happiness? We can't say all these young girls getting into those kind of marriage, they all went there because of taking care of them. I think sometimes they just want to, that's what they love. Back then in school, in my university days, there was this girl that said she can never date a young guy. She would always go for an older person. And you would see how she loves them genuinely. She said she likes to take care of them. So we can't generalize that every young person getting into a certain marriage of age bracket, they're going because of the money. But I actually feel that people can express or be where they want to be. That part, you said something about, okay, you want to go ahead? You said something about,
I think I have to go on a break. When I come back, we'll continue this conversation. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Imagine a country with over 300 plenty languages. Why you go the only focus on Yoruba, Hausa and Igbo? Where we get a common language where they unite everybody from Oga to even Madam self and every person wey dey for street. That's why we dey introduce you 89.9 Yanga FM, the #1 urban pidgin radio station where they unite us all. From the award-winning breakfast show Waiting Day with your brother, your friend Wale Po.
Everywhere.
Gen Z, it a job for this
This na Cruise Express.
And this go be the best 4 hours of our life. Country people, make una join us.
Now we be What's Up Naija crew. Now we they give you what they sup for inside we country.
Yes, so
keep it loud.
If God be your papa, why you not gonna make younger?
Compound Wahala.
Now here we dey settle all the matter.
Bro, we
I hear nobody better than we, right?
Okay, now whispers be that. Make I just be the last sensible voice where you go here.
Now we be 89.9 Yanga FM.
Get ready to step into the heartbeat of your city like never before. Welcome to Events Diary, where every moment is a celebration. From the electric energy of Owambe extravaganza, to the richness of our culture, to the sophistication of corporate gatherings, Events Diary is your VIP pass to the hottest gatherings in Nigeria. And guess what? I'll be your guide, your style icon. Each week, join me as I transform from traditional chic to corporate sleek. Whether it's a birthday bash or a high-profile gala, you won't just see it. You'll feel like you're right there with me. Aww. From meetings to evening soirees, I'll be there. Or to the trendiest street festivals or to music concerts, Events Diary has something for everyone. So join me as we explore the vibrant tapestry of Nigerian scene, one event at a time.
Good morning, Marina Station and all the passengers. Efficient, it's comfortable.
This development will go a long way in reducing congestion and emission.
The trains are a long-term solution to Lagos traffic challenges.
This is where we take the final, decisions on policies, programs of government that will have to ensure that, the narration of Lagos.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still having this conversation. I think it's leading us to that question: should a woman marry for love or for money? Especially in this time, when life, when you're in your young 20s, you're likely to want to marry for love. When you're 30s, you're looking for both. When you're 40s, you're not even interested in love. Just get the cash, bro. But I mean, that's my own thinking. But I mean, what do you think with all what we're saying? Because I have seen so many stories where people who married for love today, they're doing okay. They are coasting through life, and they're paying their bills. They're getting the business. They're still hustling. But there are some people who didn't care about it, went straight for the bullseye, and they're having that baby girl feel, and they're fine. Now, it might come with clauses like this, but it's the smart ones who are able to save money aside, put money aside, and have things in their own name. So even when clauses like this happen, they are okay independently. So the question is it still okay to marry for love?
Mo, you may say that the smart ones are able to pull out things for themselves and put things in their names. It's not always as easy as you say. Most times their lives are so, straight-jacketed, that you can't do anything, you can't buy anything, you can't go anywhere, you can't take a decision without getting an approval first. Now, for me, I'm not of the school of thought that marriage is a transaction, right? Yeah.
You still believe in love?
Oh, very much so. I still believe in love. And I believe that because at the end of the day, what makes giving pleasurable is that it is motivated by love. Right? So even if I have one and I'm willing to sacrifice or I'm willing to share, it's because I love. And it makes it bearable for me who is letting go of all that I have. Now, no one knows what's going on in the minds of people when they take such decisions as to whether they're signing prenups or doing all of that. But I still believe very much in the institution of marriage. I still believe very much in love. Because at the end of the day, even take marriage away, what will life be like without love?
Let me take this call from Castro. Thanks for calling from Enugu. You're live. Good morning, Castro.
Good morning. How are you?
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Am I on to TVC?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Very well. Go ahead. We can hear you. Don't listen to the TV. Listen to me. Go ahead.
Please, I am interested in this discussion.
Yes.
because you people are actually taking out from your family.
Okay.
I am talking to you. I am talking. I think I'm interested in this discussion.
You have the floor. Go ahead.
It's been in more feministic in nature because you didn't bother to think about what holds for us here in the Southeast. We have a tradition. If a man loses his spouse and decides to take another wife, good and well. Without mentioning your referral person, I want to believe that he was trying to guard against, fortune seekers who want to put you on this lady because he's gone. I want to be part of his, which maybe comment might not be part of. And like one of you pointed out, the legal document never said, don't marry a It said, if you must marry, leave my items for me, okay? You have to leave what you got from me. That's what you got from this will. That is the caveat there. It never said don't marry. But I tell you very frankly, I was very fair in his sharing. For him to have given the lady so much attention, his wife, with so many surviving children of the first family of the first wife, with whom he was able to make all those before even this lady came in. He was so fair to her. So if your anger or your quarrel is with the fact that he said, provided you do not remarry, a woman is at 38 or thereabouts or 40, that might be the case. But she has a baby.
Okay. Thank you, Castro. Okay. So my question to you ladies is, if you were in her shoes, what would you do?
I was going to say, we are not angry. There's a topic for conversation. We come from different angles. It's not our business. It's not our family member.
We're angry. I didn't
even the angle he pointed out, so, Abigail had mentioned.
Yeah, rather than maybe protecting her. We've already said that. First of all, he started by saying feministic. We don't have feministic conversations here. We spread out our opinions, and you have the floor to talk too, if you have to.
Thank you. I know I have things in my ears. So I hardly hear what you said, but I'm happy you heard it.
So I wanted to go back to what we were talking about, the love conversation. I'm such a lover girl, right? I believe in love. This life cannot exist without love. I'm a flower girl. And then I also want to take it from the perspective that, Mario, what happens to me being a lover girl and then also saying that I don't want money, I just want love, I just want you, I don't care about any other thing. If all this money and this world goes, baby, it's just you I want. What happens to that?
Does that still exist?
Of course. What happens to that? It's love. Look at your. I don't know. It's not Nollywood.
It's real.
Let me ask you a question.
It's real. I'm just saying. I have to play the devil's advocate. But the truth is, I know it's real. All those young girls, especially those, I love you. I just look there. Look at me. Love is good, and Tokwe will kill me because Tokwe is a lover girl too. But the truth is that I think we've all matured to a point where we see life a bit better now. And love is good, but other things are also equally good. And it's important for you to see things in proper perspective. So I'm not against love.
I was going to ask you, you love this person, love the only shack, first 5 years, 10 years, but imagine you're in love with someone and then you're sick, he can't take you to the hospital. You have problems, he can't be there. At some point, that love will start dying. It will start dying. Davido said it, love is sweet, but when money enters, it's not just love.
We're not stating that love is
I am a lover girl myself. I'm a lover girl myself, but people don't, love makes people jump into stupid conclusions.
You've not answered my question.
You would see it.
If you are Francis, what would you do? While you're thinking about it, let me take this call. Good morning. Thanks for calling. You're live.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning. This is David from Ikorodu.
Hello, David. Go ahead, please. You're live.
I think, first of all, all of you are doing a fantastic job. Really, really appreciate you all for what you do.
Thank you.
Now, I think we should look at it from another angle. Now, I have a friend, one of my very good friends. He saw this lady, she's a single mother, very wealthy, she has businesses, everything, and he would and later on they started going out. Meanwhile, the motive of this, our friend, was that because the lady was very successful and she's doing very well, her business, that was the motive in which he had. Now it begins to depend on this lady by extorting her, baby, I need this, baby, I need, all those tactics. That he drained this woman, that all her businesses went down. The lady loved him so much. I've never seen such an intoxicated love before. Even he used to say that, this guy loved me more than my ex-husband. Are you getting it? So the thing is, the reason why some men make some or put some clauses in this type of thing is because, one, they know their wife that maybe the woman is not mature enough financially that she might fall. And you know that there are wolves like this all over the place, whether we like it or not. I'm a guy, but I know that there are wolves like that in sheep clothing. Two, we do not know the other side of the bill that the guy presented, that maybe after she's 40 or 50, then she can now remarry. But I do not support the motion that statement that he did with the lawyer is permanent, that woman must not marry you maybe till she dies. That one is
okay. No, so what we have allegedly in the paper is that she's allowed to marry, but she just can't do it with her property.
Yes.
So we understand the part of the possibility that she's being protected. We get that. You've established that. There's a possibility that maybe he suspected that this woman might leave me or something. We understand that. But that third part of what if it's a possibility of a pure selfish person? The fact that I just don't want you to leave. Because in death, I want to control you. In death, I want to make sure that you are still mine, that you have nothing to do. In that situation, if she were your sister, what would you advise her?
If we look at it from the purely selfish standpoint, we can see that he's not a selfish man. You know why? He did not ask her to forfeit everything she has acquired over a period of time that she has been with him. Just properties that she got within the will. They've been together for so long. So many other things. He didn't say your jewelries, your diamonds, there's so many other things that he didn't. It shows that he's not a selfish, motivated person. He's just trying to keep the properties within the family and protect the legacy. Because if not, he will have said you forfeit every other thing you've acquired within the time you came into marriage.
And I like the fact that he mentioned different property for different
purposes.
Next of kin. Yes. Yeah. He told her, this is what you are entitled to, this is what you are inheriting. That's why I will also say that women should try to work for themselves. No matter the man you marry, try to work for yourself, because you don't know tomorrow, you don't know what will happen. So for me, if I was in her shoes, I would stay and mourn my husband and I would take time to make this decision, because, we make our decisions based on experiences.
Would you have a lover?
My experience, if I love him deeply and I have to mourn him for a period of time, I will allow myself heal. After healing, you can't tell your tomorrow from today. So after healing, if I see the chance or the needs to find a lover, I will have a lover. If in course of the relationship it's progressing to marriage, I will know that I have to forfeit it, because I'm not a lazy person. I have enough to sustain me. I will not carry the property and go to America if I want to go to America. So these are life decisions that you will take sometime in future along the line. You're not tied to, you must not marry. You can now say, okay, this is what I want. I want the money, so I will stay. But you know that you're even stuck. You can't move. I want to move, so you can keep your property, and I'm going with what I have.
Okay, let me take Onobanja. Thanks for calling Onobanja. You're live.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I would say that you ladies are doing a pretty good job.
Thank you, sir.
God Almighty bless you abundantly.
Thank
I want to say that this is my take on this. Marriage is living for each other. Living for each other. And as regards the inheritance stuff, I want to say the woman was not able to take an action. If she wants to stay, then she should abide what is in the womb. So far, she loves the man. I don't know what age she is right now. I don't know. May I ask, what's her age now?
38 years.
38, 38.
38. Can you see? That is why I'm of the. This is my take on this also. I don't advise younger ladies marrying older men. I don't advise it. Most of the time, I see it as not really love. Because how can you marry somebody?
Must it be love? That's the question, Mr. Onabanjo. Must it be love? Can't I just marry? Must it be love? I just want security. I want somebody to have a house, a car, house helps that can help me, and I'm living my life.
Yes, everything must be based on love. Morayo, everything must be based on love.
Why?
The man foresees the future. He has seen the gap between his age and his wife's age. That is why he left that clause on that will. That is why. It's because of the age barrier. He knew that perhaps he will go before that lady. And he knowing the lady's age, that is why he put that clause there. So that is it. That is it. If you want to
you know, sometimes growing up, they tell us about arranged marriages. You know, that it's not about love. Just take somebody that will just take care of you. You know, that will be the father to your children. That's all you need. You have your own place and you are independent as a woman. So I hear everybody. I'm trying to put the conversation on the table so that we are very clear. You know, it's always easier to say, oh, she can have a lover, but society surrounds a woman having a lover without marriage. So at what point is it okay for a woman to say, okay, I just want a lover? How? In Nigeria, you just have a lover for having a lover, and you are both of you are doing intimate stuff, marriage stuff.
You get tired.
So what exactly are we saying? Let me go on a very short break. Anyway, maybe we'll find a way to wrap up this conversation. Stay with us.
Good morning, Marina Station and all the passengers. Efficient, it's comfortable.
This development will go a long way in reducing congestion and emission.
The trains are a long-term solution to Lagos traffic challenges.
This is where we take the final, decisions on policies, programs of government that will have to ensure that, the narration of Lagos as a PLC is taken very, very seriously.
This is a major pedestrian bridge linking Oyingo here to Apapa Road over there.
With this overpass, we are providing what we call a permanent solution.
This place is one of the most dangerous areas at the biosecurity environment.
This can go into the news and every crimes of your neighborhood.
Our goal is to remain as Africa's model megacity, to move our GDP from the 5-6 position to the 3rd position, and we believe is achievable with all the commitments we have.
Explore the city of Lagos, where dreams are made and possibilities are endless.
Amade Doja Salamadini, I live in Lagos, inside Lagos.
Hey, my people, I greet you plenty. My name na Uwi Balogun.
My name na Damilola Banire.
My name na Moyo Faraway Ahmed. If you also call me Moyo, listen. And this na Abigail. And I dare on top of you, pigeon. I'm going to bring you bass, boost. I don't get person will be single mother before. He carry another man show, say, now my husband be this.
Now what you want?
After that day, the man
you not go see him again.
If you snooze, you lose. If you miss this show, you miss out. On top this our show, I not dey gree for anybody.
When you dey find the husband, you not see sign say the guys.
Thanks for staying with us. So one of the things I like to do in your view is when we get to this part of the conversation, we say, okay, if this Auntie Francis is our sister, just imagine she's here in the middle here, and we're advising her, what is the best thing to do? Because, there are different options. If you say, I have fallen, so your husband's name was John, and you are falling in love with Jim, and your John said, you cannot take my property if you fall in love with somebody else. Now, you fall in love with Jim, and you guys have said you have to marry. You said, okay, I will dump the properties, I will leave it. You're not going to meet Jim A year later, you realize that Jim is in debt. All the things you thought that Jim was going to bring to the table, is zero balance.
You have kids.
And then you're thinking, no, you're 38 years old. You just say your kids are still in fairly...
Your kids have property.
No, I'm just saying, yeah, they can't access their properties just yet. The point I'm trying to make is that, what if that's your plan B, your new love fails? Are you not better off just staying jelly with Jim's property till you are 80, 90 and you go to the great beyond?
If you're a lazy person. If you're a lazy person. Because I don't think the path I've gotten to in life, even if a man... Oh, okay, so for her to get to that, for her to be able to marry and manage that man, that means she has some sense of...
Abigail, some people are like you. Some people just like to live a soft life.
Aside from that, the kind of wealth and lifestyle we're talking about that she has tasted. Anna cannot leave Jim for Jim because that life, we're talking PJ life, we're talking, the lifestyle is huge, it's massive, baby.
So Igbo people,
you won't rush into marriage.
Igbo people used to say something. What's that? They don't used to use poverty and suffer, carry it on your head and be doing a big brag and be doing gra. You don't pay anybody to you. The reason why you wake up every day and you're sitting down here and you're working is because you want financial what? Independence. Yeah. And let me tell you, it's better that you've not tasted something than you've tasted and you cannot taste it again. My sister, don't worry.
Do you know what I'm saying? Let's say, I don't expect her to jump into marriage. Of course, that would be foolishness on her part to do that. But she's allowed to date, right? You can date. But if peradventure, after 10 years, you now fall in love, you want to get married.
The man you're dating wants to settle down now.
Okay, let's just say 10 years after you're settling down. How old are the kids? The kids will grow to a certain stage. And those kids, you know, African kids, if your mother says, I'm hungry, they want to take care of their mom.
So you'll be fine.
So you still have
you have an insurance.
If my sister sitting down beside me, I'll tell her, Sisi, you say you're in love. You love this guy. This Jim. You cannot breathe without him. You can't sleep without him. You want to leave the money and find happiness and marry. Whatever comes. Marriage is, nobody knows tomorrow. Yeah. You can have money today, you don't have tomorrow. You cannot have tomorrow, you have a bit because nobody is God.
So you won't advise her to have a lover?
No, his life is about choices. Now just give her the A and the B. Then let her choose. I mean, one choose for her.
For me,
I already know what I'll choose for myself.
I would advise her. If she was sitting here, I would tell her, what you need to do now is plan. Plan for today, plan for tomorrow, and have an exit plan. So you have these properties, you have this wealth. The properties, obviously, she's not going to live in them. There are things that are rented, leased, and things like that. So it's definitely going to be yielding income. Nobody will. I do not think that anybody will be collecting that income from her. True. So plan your life. I do not even expect you to have a lover in the next 3, 4, 5 years. I'm sorry. So take that time now. Sit down and begin to invest in you. Begin to ask yourself pertinent questions. Where do I want to be in the next 5 years? He's no longer in the picture. It's just me now. Okay, I want to have this. I want to have that. I have this inflow from what I have been given. I cannot sell the properties off. But I can make something out of it. So why don't I make something out of it?
Give myself like 10
why
years.
Don't I buy stocks? Why don't I buy bonds? Why don't I make investments? Why don't I use the yields from that to buy other properties and start beginning to build my own wealth and my own income.
I can exit then.
So that becomes my exit plan. So somewhere around 45, I can still find love. I can do IVF. I can do surrogacy. I can do anything I want and have it. And if I want bonds, I bond.
And aside from that, we can also tell that she's a smart person because he trusted her with the responsibility of managing one of his businesses over time. So we know that she has good business acumen.
Let me take Tunde from Agodo. Thanks for calling. You're live.
Yeah, how are you? First of all, where is Nima?
Nima is not here yet. She'll be back soon.
Is she still eating layer meat?
She'll be back very soon.
She's still eating layer. So let me contribute to what you are saying. Let me tell you something. My mother's friend. Hello?
Hi. Go ahead. We can hear you.
Yeah, my mother's friend. The husband died. She was 35. The man was 38. You know, she has 4 kids. 3 boys and a girl. And the woman didn't remarry. up to now, the woman, she's at mid-80s. She trained these children. One of them was commissioner, one of them was executive in the banks. So it depends on the lady. Then concerning about love, there's no love in Nigeria. The love existed during our mother's days. The only language for love in Nigeria now is money. No. So
I'm not generalizing. You're not generalizing too much.
Yeah. The only thing some ladies marry big men is just because of money and security. A lady can have the security for herself if she's working hard. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, a lady can have security for herself if she's working hard and she can provide for herself, not to wait for another man, an old person to marry. The man that's supposed to be your father. There's no love in Nigeria nowadays. If you don't have money, forget about love. If you are crippled, you are assuming the money, ladies will go after you. That's the only thing.
Okay, so, thank you very much, Tunde. You know, let me start with that cripple part and I'll come back to the staying celibate we talked about earlier. You see, I think, you know, as we grow older, you know, and we see life, we realize that at the end of it all, everybody's hustling. At the end, when you're 90, you're going to look back and say, okay, what have I done? Because if you think of all these things, we try to make life so complicated. If somebody says, I want to marry only for money, they are well within their right to say, that is what I want to do. And you'll be surprised, the reason why I talk like this, because I have seen different homes. I come from a polygamous family. And I live there, and I'm a Lagos girl. Both my parents are from Lagos. I'm in this town. I have seen different scenarios. And I've seen those women, during my mother's time, that my mother and her clique, they used to look at them, those ones. Husband 1, husband 2, look at them. They used to, I know the cliques. That clique, my sister, they are still alive and well today. They are happy. Yeah. Those my mommy's clique that were doing, we are just one man. They've gone to the great beyond. You know, things happen. You know, I'm not trying to say one is better than the other. I'm just saying that you never know.
True.
You know, because those people today, I still run into them at parties. I still know that, mommy,
they have kids and grandkids.
They are fine. They didn't have any husband. They went for the bullseye. They went for the man with the cash. And that cash is sustaining them today. And they're in their 90s and they are happy. So there are different, let us not always have this moralistic perspective that it has to be love or nothing. Some people can say, it is money I'm looking for, and that money is what I need. And it is also valid. And that's the point I'm trying to make. I think there was somebody was going to say something else. Okay, we have to go on a short break. When we come back, we'll take a few comments on social media. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
If they look for person, we will give them to you. Fact as it be. Men no they ever get forced. If baby not there for her, now the woman.
Talk no they be person, make person no fit talk through inside.
But for this country, we not say if we open court in the morning, waiting no good, no good.
Me and my sisters, hey, we go tanda gidigba for inside studio to give una all the latest information.
We not even take responsibility for the children. Leave the man.
And that's some period.
As the morning light filters in, the Max Breakfast kickstarts your day from the bedside.
Bring you the morning vibe and plenty of ginger to start your day right.
Join us on the Max Breakfast as we help you through your day one step at a time.
On Max Hits, we've got the ultimate playlist for you. We give you back to back.
And all the biggest news from the world of entertainment. Only on Max Hits.
Area! Waiting the apple, waiting the shop. Tune into our award winning waiting the 102.3 Max FM.
Lagos, Nigeria, you're welcome to the Max Drive.
Whether you're there for inside motor, you're there for inside traffic, we're there for you with a Max.
Late nights on Max FM is where we help you connect the dots and put you in that place where you are ready to do it right.
We are dishing out the top hits of the week, counting down the biggest songs on your radio.
Let's go.
Right now.
On Max Sports, we bring to you sporting events happening all around the world.
It's not just sports, it's entertainment.
You know what it is. It's the Max House Party. King Dion, DJ Charlie Shee. Let's go.
Go!
We are your go-to for hit music, entertainment, and top-notch radio all day, every day. 102.3 Max FM. Hit music for Lagos.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past 3 years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company not just in Nigeria but throughout continental Africa to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Thanks for staying with us. Let's take a few comments on social media. Yes.
Okay, so G says, my mother's friend Seth remarried at about 60 years, about 8 to 10 years after her husband died. It's always easy for a man to remarry at 80. Why not a woman? She deserves companionship.
Aunt Nam says, if you worry about what people think, you're holding yourself back, as long as you're not foolish. And then
talking about remarrying, my mother, I was telling my mother when she was alive that she needed to remarry. She was like, I am married to Jesus. There is no way. Nobody is touching me again. And I'm thinking, well, now take it easy. But so I understand that whole thing of celibacy. But I wanted to take a point that this issue of how society sees widowhood. Because one of our callers was saying something. That somebody's husband died at the age of 38 at
38 and she was 35.
And she stayed till the 80s. Now, society will applaud her. She was loyal. She raised her children. Her children are her husband. She's a good woman. Does that still hold water today? Because a lot of 60-year-old women are looking like they're 40s. And they look like they're ready to... I don't understand. I don't understand. Does that still make sense today? Would you advise somebody who becomes a widow in her mid-30s or early 40s to stay single till the day she dies?
That you're widowed at 35 doesn't stop you from being horny every month. It doesn't stop you from needing protection. It doesn't stop you from needing someone to cuddle you at night. They should stop making it look like women are meant to suffer till they die. We know that women are well disciplined. They like to, most women, even when their husbands leave them, when they are widows, they don't want to remarry like the men. But it doesn't mean that they don't have their internal struggles. And most women are going through that struggle, not because they wanted to, but because of what will society say. What would they say? I'm loose and all that. They should allow women to be women. That's why the ones that have the opportunity to be rebellious, they do it out of hand. Because they've been choked, they've been put in that space for too long that they just want to be free. So they should allow women. If they are widowed at 35 and at 40 or 50 they want to get married again or they want to express, they should leave them. The ones that want to stay till 85 too, they should leave them. Personal decisions.
Did we not just hear recently that Pastor Ita was in an interview and he was suggesting?
He wasn't suggesting actually.
I
watched it though.
Did you watch it?
I watched it. So the guy was asking him. He said when his wife died, he thought it was over.
Just 5 years ago, like yesterday.
He said he thought it was over, nothing for love and all that. But if you ask him now, he's open The interviewer was asking him, do you have a girlfriend? He said there's no girlfriend.
But he said that. He said I can't answer that now.
Okay.
He said something about I don't want to answer that. Something like that. Something very evasive.
Okay, but he said he's actually open to. Men move on easily. 5 years is even.
Yeah, I don't want Pastor Ita moving on. No. Pastor Ita cannot move on.
That's the second wife.
I refuse.
This is so funny.
No. Because
why?
His angelic wife must linger for the next 25 years.
But she was the second, right?
No,
there was a first before her.
The first one we didn't know her. She was.
But there was a first before. If someone could.
This one is our own marriage. This one is globally accepted.
I
am using this opportunity.
You are the society we are talking about.
I am using this opportunity to pass a message.
Men's mental health month.
We understand you're a man. We understand you have needs. But as that thing called marriage, we say no.
He's a pastor. He
can't
be
how is he supposed to meet the needs?
Society. He can't be fornicating.
He said you understand he has needs.
He needs to exercise his prostrate.
Listen, there are some women who are not having sex and they are fine. There are some men who are not having sex and they are very fine. But I'm very, very sure Pastor Adebo is not having sex and he's fine. And he's alive and well.
Excuse me, Mo, you cannot say you are sure. Number one. And I'm not on that table where you are having that conversation. I have left this chat room. You cannot say you are sure. You are not his best.
You don't want to wrap your head around it.
Damn, Ebika said, the annoying thing is, at this point, whatever that woman does, she will still be judged. If she remarries, they will say she didn't love her husband. If she doesn't remarry, they will call her a gold digger.
I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah, man, thanks for calling your life. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
You're live.
Hello,
Go
good
ahead,
morning,
please.
gorgeous ladies.
Thank
Good
you.
morning. Good morning. Yeah, my concern is for the widows. They actually need companion. They are lonely. Let's be frank here, they are lonely. They need somebody to talk to, somebody to call them. Where are you? Are you here? Are you there? If they are sleeping at night, they need somebody to gist with. They need somebody to make plans with. In fact, that's it. So we should try and encourage this in the society for these women to remarry, not just for love or anything, but companionship. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I mean, are we going back to PI? You know, I love Pastor. Pastor is my personal pastor, and I love him so much.
Why
and I would love him to be happy.
ended.
And if it is for him to remarry, I mean, if that's what his desire is, I have no issues with it.
It seems like you have.
No, I don't have an issue with it. I might have an issue with it personally, but outwardly, I don't have an issue with it. But inside, it will be choking me. But I will not. But I'll
Pastor, don't be married.
Please. Anyways, like they are using style to tell me to end the show. I'm not ending the show. Let's go back to comments on social media.
Okay, so is it that complicated? I think it's just the feeling that want to always want that person around you for whatever reason. This is coming from Hafsa A. We have a lot of comments here.
There's a widower I know. He lives in Marudu. I will not mention his name. He loved his wife so much. I remember when the woman died. We went to help him bury. The man was distraught. Till now, he has not brought himself to date somebody else.
How many years after?
It's been a while. I can't. It's been a while. It's definitely longer than 5 years. It's definitely longer than 5 years. And I see this man on the street jogging. He has not married. I know a few people that are interested in that relationship. And because when me and him, we just once in a while, when I see him doing that work, you know, I'm quite for a guy. Just because his kids are fairly young, doesn't want anybody just coming in that he's fine. So the reason that's why I know there's some men like that that have that kind of self-control. So when we see certain people and say, not that we don't want you to be happy, but I'm hoping you can exert some kind of self-control to say, in honor of this, the love, because there's some love that I just like you, I love you, let us marry. But there's some pure love that is pure, that you just like this love must be a lifetime. That's the kind of love I see with P.I. and his ex and his late wife. Purity, like that kind of pure love that we want it to last forever, even in our minds.
The difference is the man in your estate is not a pastor, so no one is requiring anything from him. Pastor Itwa cannot just, you don't know the ladies that are coming and going in that man's house. So, but Pastor Itwa can do it. And if he has needs.
And you know that for a fact.
He's a pastor.
And the truth is, in life, we're all different. There's some men that have high libido. Some people have normal libido. So it's in women, low and high. So if you're a man that you love passionately and you have high libido, instead of you to be misbehaving everywhere, be go and remarry.
Okay. Point taken. That's all we can take on today's show. We hope that with these few points of ours, everybody should go and get a will and honor those. Honor those that love you and you love. Make sure that they are well protected even after your demise. That's all we can take on today's show. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.